The two sides and confirm them for you. First of all, Tottenham Hotspur, their options still limited by the injuries to Darren Anderton, Paul Allen, Nick Barmby and Justin Edinburgh. So it's the same lineup who did so well to spoil Newcastle's opening day party at St James's Park. An answer perhaps to those who believe Spurs to be a side of fragile talents liable to go to pieces once they get north of the Watford gap. 18-year-old Sol Campbell continues to fill the problem left-back spot. Colin Calderwood, who captained Swindon's promotion team last season, is Neil Ruddock's replacement in defence. And up front, Teddy Sheringham, last season's top Premier League scorer, already off the mark this year, and partnered by Gordon Jury, who's been given a fresh lease of life with the injury problems here at White Hart Lane.
Well, I don't think Ozzy Ardiles is going to change his formation at all from the one that played at Newcastle, got such a good result. This is the main part of his setup. It's that diamond formation that Spurs have used so often, and they used it so successfully at the weekend up at Newcastle. The back four will remain much the same. Watch for Dozzell making these forward runs that were his trademark in his Ipswich days. Both Howells and Sedgley will be the anchors really in midfield. Vinnie Samway's the one who will try and get on the ball and spread it all over the place, looking to put passes together. Gordon Jury, the lad you mentioned, I think he's got a big role tonight, Ian. Don't expect him to quite to partner Sheringham. I'm looking for Gordon Jury to be making runs down the sides, down in the channels that they call, to provide the width, because this lad here, the golden shoe he just accepted earlier, he depends an awful lot on service coming from wide.
So that's Tottenham Hotspur. What about Arsenal? Well, George Graham threatened to frighten his players by making changes after that terrible display against Coventry City at home on Saturday, and the news is he's carried out the threat. Paul Merson and Anders Limpar are dropped, and I hear that Kevin Campbell may have gone too if Alan Smith had been fully fit to play up front. On top of that, Lee Dixon's picked up an ankle injury, so Martin Keown comes in at right back. New signing Eddie McGoldrick making his full league debut for Arsenal, and what a day to make it. And there's a call-up for the youngster Ray Parlour in midfield. And I think we're going to see, Andy, two diamond formations in the midfield.
Yeah, the one thing that worries George Graham is the passing ability of the Tottenham side. So he's picked a very special side here, and he is too is going to go in a diamond formation in midfield, almost man for man if you like. And I think that's why Anders Limpar and Paul Merson have been sacrificed. John Jensen will be the one who's allocated the job of looking after those Jason Dozzell runs from the midfield. He will be picking up those runs. But you're right, Ray Parlour will be asked to get in and around Vinnie Samways, not to give him time, not to give him space, and make it very difficult for him. But the one thing is, will they be able to cope with this man?
Well, you've mentioned Ian right at the end there, and of course that's the big thing tonight, isn't it? The shootout between the two top scorers in Premier Division football. Spectators tonight, all the way from Argentina to link up with his old mate Ozzy Ardiles, Ricky Villa. Isn't it great to see him back at White Hart Lane? Hero, of course, of the 1981 Cup final. Sitting right in front of him there, Lee Dixon, who's out injured tonight, the Arsenal fullback.
I tell you what, there's a few supporters that wouldn't mind Ricky Villa and Ozzy Ardiles pulling on his strip.
Absolutely right. That would be a treat. Ozzy's 10th first league game as manager at White Hart Lane, and for him a chance to win over fans who were in revolt over the removal of Terry Venables and who may still have doubts about the new regime. It's Tottenham Hotspur in their traditional white shirts who get us underway, attacking the new North Stand end. This is Vinnie Samways. Arsenal lead 46-42 in victories in derby matches played over the years. There have been 24 draws. But Arsenal, of course, trying to put that appalling opening day performance really at home to Coventry behind them. But it could be that result might concentrate their minds wonderfully. Adams having to do some patch-up work. First touch for Sol Campbell, and Ray Parlour brought into the side. To Davis, now Winterburn. Here's Davis again, who can sometimes bring some subtlety and sophistication, which is sometimes missing from Arsenal's midfield. Jensen was in there. Some speculation in the London Evening Paper that he might be dropped for this evening's game, but he keeps his place. Now Wright. Fast beginning. Wright typically turning, twisting, run, and here's Campbell with a chance! And the flag was up anyway. Wouldn't have counted.
No need for him to be offside either. No need, we'll see it again here. Now look, he's looking right along the line. Ian Wright does marvellously well in holding up the play, but you can see Kevin Campbell goes far too early. He's definitely offside, and he'll be thankful, I think, seeing the flag up after that miss.
He's staying too.
Look at that though. Had to be timed, and it was perfectly.
Is Parler right here? Real chance, and maybe 6 times out of 10 he'd have put that in.
Took the right option as well for me. It was a difficult one because it sat up and it was at an awkward height. Do you volley it? Not on his strongest left foot, or do you head it? See, it's lovely height to head. You can see what he tried to do. Direct it to Eric Torsved's left hand, but he just puts too much on it and puts it wide. No part of that statement either.
Well,
26 years of age.
Yeah, absolutely right. He seems to have been around forever. Here's McGoldrick. Good run from him. And a lovely cross too, and well claimed by Eric Torsved. Eddie McGoldrick starting in an Arsenal shirt in a league match for the first time. Great
lovely skill. That's all Eddie McGoldrick. You see Kevin Campbell there. He has the decision. Does he attack the near post or hold at the far? He held at the far post and McGoldrick drove it near. Ball
being given away with some frequency. And the snapshot from Wright. And Torsved there. That was a typical piece of lightning-quick thinking by Ian Wright. That's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, no one else would be dreaming of trying anything like that. And Eric Torsved really at full stretch. Otherwise, that's sneaking into the bottom corner. But exactly as he did against Manchester United in the Charity Shield there. Taking a shot out of nothing. We've got a player down injured, and I think it's Dean Austin who's taken a knock. And here's Wright, who's come closer than anybody to breaking the deadlock so far. What a lovely run. Look at this from Wright. Sensational run from Ian Wright, and just hustled out of it in the end by Dean Austin. But if he could have put a climax onto that, wow, what a goal it would have been. You and I spoke beforehand when we looked at both strikers about the individualism of Ian Wright, and this is a great example of it. He picked that ball up 20 yards on his own half and was only thwarted, what, 6 yards from the Tottenham goal. Here's the corner. Adams couldn't get the near post knock on he was looking for. Jury taking his time over that and being rocked by Davis. And Calderwood, who's done some good covering back there. He's made a solid enough start. He's under the microscope a bit, isn't he, Colin Calderwood, Andy? Yeah, there's a lot of people think that this is going to be a real test for Colin in the Premier League. But he's a very fine footballer, first and foremost. I say that from a very cool head. He likes to play the game. Pacey kind of game, bags of atmosphere, and I'm finding it pretty absorbing. I don't know about you, Andy. Oh, it is fascinating this tonight. I mean, local derbies will always be tight, they will always be tense. You don't get many local derbies that finish 5-4 and 4-3 and all that way. But they have an atmosphere all of their own and a tension all of their own that make them different from the ordinary league game. Here's the free kick. Torsved, was he fouled in there? The ball off the post, Adams, and off the line by Calderwood, but I think that the free kick has been given anyway. I'm not so sure the free kick was given. He's given it corner in. Now Tony Adams is furious because I think he scored. The ball, did it cross the line in that? There are all sorts going on. Have a look at this, Andy. I mean, I think that's a genuine and honest challenge, but it's from here to watch. Is he over the line? Look how deep into the net Colin Calderwood is. Well, controversy, and they'll talk about that. We'll have another look at it, I'm sure. The free kick was not given. There seemed to be some pushing on Torsved, maybe. Not given, though. McGoldrick with the corner. This time Torsved claims it, and Spurs breathe again. Well, that's going to be a big talking point as half-time approaches. It really is. Certainly from my angle up here on the gantry, and I thought Tony Adams had scored. And Colin Calderwood was well behind the line when he breasted it out. We can have another look at it. Now let's watch it very closely. It hits the post there from Ian Wright. Now watch it. Adams is there. Look at that. That's in. That's got to be in. Now Jensen. dear. He does look razor sharp tonight. He was telling us, wasn't he, beforehand, when we were talking to him, he said, I've had a fabulous day, I feel great.
And this is an example of it. Watch this for a volley. Absolutely magnificent technique. His shape was right, his connection was ideal, and his direction's only a fraction out. Look at the shape, textbook stuff. I can only think, Ian, that Ian Wright thought that Dean Austin was going to get something on the cross. Otherwise, I saw no reason why he didn't attack the ball and head it. It was there to be buried. But as you say, he backed off and he let the ball bounce.
Well, that's half-time, and the big talking point was the ball over the line from Tony Adams' shot when Colin Calderwood cleared it. We'll talk about that at half-time. We'll analyse it again, but at half-time here, Spurs 0, Arsenal 0.
Tell you what, Ian, Ray Clements tried hard to say it wasn't a goal, didn't he?
He did, didn't he?
Goodness me.
But he couldn't really get out of it. I think it was in. It did look like it, didn't it? But the fact is, the scoreline says 0-0. I can tell you there have been no substitutions at half-time. Just to remind you that Spurs have Darren Caskey, the youngster midfield player, on the bench with John Hendry, who got a couple against Arsenal late last season. Ian Selly, the teenager, and Alan Smith are the substitutes for Arsenal. That's, of course, is apart from the two reserve goalkeepers. Arsenal, who had much the best of the first half, get us underway at the start of the second, attacking the goal to your right. Certainly a much improved display from the one they put up against Coventry at the weekend. Linnigan. Mabbott cutting it out. Campbell to Sedgley. Keown getting the interception in. Good challenge that by Mabbott. Possession almost having to be quarried in the opening seconds of the second half. Campbell. Oh, in a real tangle with Keown. Down in front of the east stand at White Hart Lane, and David Ellery is reaching for the yellow card again.
Well, it didn't look pretty, did it? Martin Keown's tackle. Sol Campbell completely misses the ball. It's a horrible, badly timed tackle.
It's a good one. Campbell, shadowed by Calderwood. Wright's in the middle. Winterburn, oh, well, he had Wright in the middle, he had McGoldrick in the middle in space, and he deposited into row E.
Well, you can't work for a better situation than that, you really can't. If you could go and put the ball at Nigel Winterburn's feet in that area, you would take that all day, you really would. To be fair to him, he'd put it in there most of the time.
Campbell is in the middle. That was pretty optimistic, but Sol Campbell presents it back to Arsenal in the shape of McGoldrick. Parlour with the first time 1-2. This is nice. McGoldrick, beautiful. And surely a chance. Campbell off the post and out.
It's a handball in. Kevin Campbell's handled it. This is incredible, they haven't opened the scoring. An absolutely wonderful move involving Eddie McGoldrick. Watch this for a 1-2. Great ball from Parlour because McGoldrick can play it first time. You think Ian Wright must score, but Dean Austin does enough, but watch this. The right hand goes up. I don't know what he's thinking about, Kevin Campbell. Whether the bounce deceived him.
I think it did.
Anything like that, but he's thinking, I think he wanted to shoot. That's what it was, and it bounced up, and all he had to do was put his head on it.
It laid on. Still Arsenal pressure. Adams was in there. Good clearance by Calderwood. Jensen took a deflection, his right. And surely this time, no! Across the line. And there was a foul by Campbell on the far post at the end of it all. But Spurs survive again.
Well, I tell you, say you need luck in this game, or you need luck during the season. Tottenham are using it up an awful lot tonight. I mean, Ian Wright does everything right. He knows he can't score, so he says, I'll play it across goal. We must have someone tapping it in. And Adams and Campbell are fractionally short. And
Tottenham having weathered the storm, for the most part, come back themselves. Not for the moment, because it's Arsenal with Wright again. And he's so hungry for a goal. And the Goldrick there really was protesting. I noticed when Wright had the shot, he wanted that ball switched to him. Given. Kasky. He was caught late. Spurs will have a free kick. Looked to take it quickly. Did so. Austin's cross towards Dozel with the header. And Seaman getting his fingertips to it. I'm not sure whether it was really going to go in anyway, but Seaman certainly couldn't afford to take a chance.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, this is a good header, but I think Seaman's got it covered, and whether it's just bending wide, you don't take any chances if you're a goalkeeper of his quality.
Here's the corner. Mabbutt trying to get the glancing head to it. Jensen. Now McGoldrick. Oh, that's a lovely ball for Ian Wright. And a terrific challenge by Austin. Absolutely vital. Still something for Campbell, maybe? No.
Well, you have to imagine that Arsenal have just used up all the chances. The thing that saved Dean Austin was that Ian Wright just showed him enough of the ball. If he'd have been able to control this on his left side more, then Austin would have been dead. He would never have been able to recover. But he's alive enough, Ian Wright, to tuck this one back. And this is one, you put your foot behind it. If you connect it properly, you're a hero.
Players will be very tired now. The pace of the game has been furious. The intensity, the passion of it, the heat of it as well. Winterburn's long throw. The red shirts gather in the penalty area. Linegan tries to get a back header on it. It's won though by Calderwood, but Arsenal have a corner. Inside the last 4 minutes. McGoldrick to take it. Adams comes forward. Linegan comes forward. Here's the corner. And Linegan, and into the net. A goal for Arsenal by Ian Wright. And that may well decide it. Arsenal look to have stolen it, and it's that man again, Ian Wright.
Hey, it's Ian Wright who scores, but a huge thank you to Andy Linegan. Watch the way that the kid attacks the ball. Look at that, for a wonderful attacking header. And for a man of Ian Wright's calibre, it's a simple task to direct it past CrossFit. Look at this. If you want an example of attacking a corner, you can look no further than this. A magnificent leap. And it's a simple task for Ian Wright. He doesn't miss those. And I have to say, Ian, it is no more than this Arsenal performance has deserved tonight.
Certainly on the balance of play, Arsenal have been value for the lead that Ian Wright has given them. Second goal of the season to add to the one he scored in the Charity Shield. Spurs 0, Arsenal 1. Linegan and Mabbutt both took knocks in that incident. Hardly anybody seemed to notice. The Arsenal supporters away to our left are in raptures now. They can sense Arsenal's first win at White Hart Lane in 4 seasons. It's a mortal blow to Tottenham after their great start to the season at Newcastle. But the defeat against Coventry really does seem to have put Arsenal back on their mettle. George Graham wielded the axe. He made bold decisions, leaving out Limpar, leaving out Merson. And at the moment, it's paying off unless Spurs have an ace to play in the last few minutes. There might be quite a lot of injury time to add to the, 70 seconds or so left on the clock. Away, top left of your picture, to give them width and with those great crosses. So things, I'm sure, will change for Ozzy Ardiles, and he does have those 3 points already in the bag. Parlour took a knock there. Referee takes a glance at his watch. Here's Davis. Wright breaking away to his left. And here is Wright. This could be another. No, the flag is going up on the far side. Now or I should say the near side. It doesn't really matter, same effect, it was offside.
Well, had it been on the far side, the same result, the flag would have gone up. Don't worry about it.
I'll get it sorted out for next week, Andy. If I'm still in work. It's Calderwood. Tony Adams having that knock on the ankle. Well, there's been a lot of talk pre-season that this might be the year for Arsenal to remount a challenge after that 10th place last year. They're going to take all the beating, aren't they, again?
One, quite simply, is because they're a very hard side when they're on song to beat. When they're playing well, they're a very, very difficult side to play against, and that's the strength. And as we say, people have said time and time again, when you have that solidity at the back, and you always know that your striker's got a chance of getting a goal, you've got to fancy your chances.
The final whistle has gone. Arsenal have won the North London derby with Ian Wright sharply taking goal in the closing minutes of the match. Celebrations for those fans. A disappointing homecoming in the Premiership for Aussie Ardealers, but Ian Wright looked razor sharp all night. He might well have scored before the one that actually counted. There was too the contentious issue of the Tony Adams effort that appeared to cross the line in the first half, but which was not given, and we heard the explanation from the linesman that he didn't think the whole of the ball had crossed the whole of the line. The news here is that Arsenal are seriously back in business. Was Saturday at the Coventry Chemical just a momentary aberration?
There's a little example, Ian, for anyone who doubts the importance that these players put on this game. You would think that the Arsenal players have just won a final or a semi-final. It's a local derby, but look how much it means to them. Incredible.
Yes, I think the fans will forgive you almost anything if you beat your local rivals. And Arsenal have put things right tonight, and they'll be glad really that they had the chance to do that, I think, within, what, 48 hours and a bit more of Saturday. Tottenham have some rethinking to do again. The complexion changes, just one of the early twists in the plot of the long Premiership campaign, which will move on from this sunlit day in London as it was, through the wind and the rain and the ice and the snow, and end up next May. They don't want to leave. Now then, let's go backstage. Let's meet the hero of the night for Arsenal, Ian Wright. He's with Nick Collins.
Ian, you left it late, but eventually it all worked out for you. The winning goal just before the end, and a bottle of champagne for being man of the match.
Yeah, thanks very much. It was a really good game. I love the derbies, you know. I'm glad this one finished on a good note for me. Everybody knows how last year's went, and I'm glad I've just erased that, really. I'm just pleased with the win because I have to give Coventry credit. They played brilliant on Saturday, but we didn't do ourselves justice, and hopefully we can use this as a springboard.
For so long, you were creating the chances without getting the goal. It looked as if you were never going to make it.
Oh, you just keep plugging away, you know. I thought the back four was really solid. The midfield played really well because they have got some quality players. So I thought they coped with their midfield players well, and you know we had to keep plugging away. Me and Kevin. In the end, you know, we got one. Andy, a great flick again.
Very good goal. Let's just have a quick look at it. You were saying Andy Linnigan's part in it. Here it comes.
Yeah, it was a good corner. Nice to the far stick. In a minute, yeah. You know, Andy got up well, as everyone knows he can. And when you just get yourself in between that kind of area, you just have to touch it. I was just fortunate really to be in the right place.
Split-second timing needed there, though.
Well, you know, from there, you know, you just need to touch it. So, you know, and Andy, I've got to give Andy all the credit there. You know, I just had to flick it, really.
So, what will this do for Arsenal? You got a beating that you weren't expecting on Saturday, and you've come back here and won a big North London derby.
Yeah, like I say, credit to Coventry. They played well on the day, but, you know, we came in front of the cameras and everything. There's a lot of pressure on us, and I thought we coped with it quite well. And I think in the end we deserved the result on chances alone. I thought we scored in the first half. You know, from where I was, I thought it went behind the line, but, you know, we use television evidence for other things. Maybe we should use it for the refs as well sometimes.
Can you see that happening, though, as in cricket, using TV as a third umpire or a second referee?
Well, you know, I think it's something for the future. I don't want to get too deep, but, you know, it is going to up the game, because I thought we battled well, and if it was 0-0, we would have felt robbed. So, you know, it might be, you know, I don't know if I'm out of order or anything, but I think maybe it could be an option.
Well, it's certainly a very interesting thought. Ian, well done. You deserved your champagne. Gave us a lot of entertainment tonight. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, cheers.
The irrepressible Ian Wright, there is nothing that he likes more than scoring goals, and not for the first time. He settled a match in Arsenal's favour. 1-0 at White Hart Lane.